breath in, long breath out. Deep breath in, long breath out. Relax and open your eyes. Okay, so the next thing we're going to cover is the core principles of assisting. And I kind of mentioned too when John and Sarah were off getting the couple copies made. And John demonstrated it with the half moon when I'm misaligned. First thing you do is correct alignment. And so correct alignment if necessary. So that's what I think in the beginning too, that's really where you're looking. I don't think it's necessarily looking to how can I enhance that pose or enhance that pose. You're looking to see, is everyone simply in right alignment, because that's first and foremost. And so you look and you see, and in time you'll be able to keep the rhythm and the pacing of your teaching going and give correction. So once they're corrected, then you set your base, you make sure they're grounded in their base, and then you'll offer the enhancement.
The core principle of it really is integrate muscularly before opening organically. And that work, that's for you and the student too.
So when you say set your base, essentially what's going to happen is you'll be in one of two positions. You'll be in some sort of horse pose or some sort of lunge. Right? So horse meaning feet separate. It's almost like a very modified victory or goddess pose. Or you'll be in some sort of lunge, however wide, however long. And it really depends on the pose itself, because what's happening is you're going to adjust yourself around that person's pose. Anyone need help reading that? Everyone's good? It's okay. You can go.
John, you're too tall.
So when we correct alignment, so first thing, correct alignment if necessary. We always start at the base, right? So that the base is either going to be the feet or the hands, depending on the pose, right? 9 times out of 10 it's going to be the feet, unless your student's going upside down. That's going to be the hands. So you always want to look at the base. Second, you want to set your base first. Okay. And so when I do any assist, I want to make sure that I'm grounded. Right? That's for my safety and it's for the student's safety. Right? If I go in and I'm not grounded, I could hurt myself, or if the student falls, right, I'm not able to catch them if my base isn't solid, if my foundation isn't set. Make sense?
Yes.
Any questions? Examples? Just keep rolling through.
Let's keep going through. Go hit them all.
Okay, so I mentioned before that our alignment principles create our assisting structure. So you have the universal principles of alignment, or vertical stabilization, planes of the body, which essentially is what we're, the sagittal, transverse, and coronal, which is where we're hugging into or shining out from. And the myofascial lines, they all inform our assist. They create stability and integration so that she can more fully express the line being opened. The planes of the body, again, we have sagittal, transverse, and frontal. They inform us as to what direction to move the body parts to help integrate or express the pose. So if someone's in like, you can say seated, John, if he's in like a warrior 2 arms, or warrior 2. So if he's being too open and flexy bendy, and I need him to integrate, I'll say pull in through here, right? Or I'll go to the shoulders and say integrate here. Or if he's being too muscular and I need him to go to relax and go organic, I'll say relax out through there. And then it'll just give him, so it's simple, right? It's one finger, it's maybe but you're just sliding out or sliding in wherever you want him to integrate. But your understanding of the planes of the body and the anatomical position of the pose is going to guide you in, oh, I need him to integrate more, or I need him to express more. Simple enough, right? This is not too complicated. The myofascial lines, front line, back line, spiral line, side lines, deep front line, they inform us as to what line to facilitate the deeper opening, the enhancement. So just really, that's kind of simple because you're like, oh, I'm in, the third step and I'm working the superficial front line way open, hip flexors, getting ready for back bending. So how am I going to enhance that? Well, with whatever pose they're doing, you're understanding that this is the line that I want them to help go deeper so they have a more successful experience when we get to the pinnacle pose. Questions about that? It's pretty simple too. We've gone over that a bunch.
Is the reason why you do the, when they're in Shavasana and you do the skull one, is that because that's the end of the deep front line? Or the deep front, that's the base of the skull? Or is that just...
Oh yeah, because it goes up the sides and to the, connects to the sternocleidomastoid, I think.
Mainly it's just,
it
feels good,
Yeah.
get them to relax more.
Okay, it wasn't really a myofascial.
Yeah, no, it's just nice. And that was actually just one cue. We'll go over a bunch of other assists in Shavasana, like Trey was talking about before. And then mountain pose. Mountain pose is important because that gives us the sense of exactly where to place the hands. And so this is most important because this is what we're getting into now. As you give the physical assists, mountain pose and the vertical stabilization is how you're correcting misalignment, it's how you're enhancing deeper integration, and it's giving you the sense of where to place the hands to help that. Right? And so we'll go over mountain pose and we'll show just how to work the body. Again, this is very simple. It'll seem kind of like, okay, that's it. But you're also getting a sense of where to place the hands, how much pressure to put on the hands, and if you have an understanding of where we're placing the hands in mountain pose, once the poses get crazy, you'll have a sense, a base from which you can still give